Hello, you lovely people. What's going on? Welcome to the channel. As always, if you like what we're doing, get involved. Leave a comment. Have a go at us. Tell me you hate me. Tell me you love me. Whatever. Just get involved. And yeah, if you do enjoy what we're doing, give us a like, give us a subscribe, all of that stuff, right? So today I'm going to take you through one of my many failed experiments. I wish there wasn't quite as many of these, but there is. But hey ho, you got to try things, haven't you? So I have already done a video about this before, but I think it's worth revisiting in light of all the AI music stuff that's going on at the moment. And I wanted to talk you through what happened when I tried to build or built an AI record label. So for a little bit of context, I already do run a record label for real musicians and real people called Bad Parrot. I've been running that for 2 years now. On top of that, I've also been running my main music marketing agency, which is called Different Source. And with that agency, I do a lot of work on behalf of record labels, like playlist promotion, social media promotion, things like that. So the long story short of all that is that we kind of thought within our team, right, we're quite well placed to do this because we've got a lot of the skills that are required to promote music. And also the kind of theory behind this was, would it be possible to create an AI record label that runs simultaneously, driving streams, driving activity, and driving revenue? The idea being that one day that would fund the real record label. So there was quite a genuine thought process behind this, in that if I could get the AI record label to be turning over an amount of money each month, that's more money that I can spend on advertising for, the actual artists that I work with, putting on events and doing fun stuff for them, right? So that was why we did this, right? I'm going to take you through kind of how it went and what the process involved. So I did this about 2 years ago. And then there was no kind of restrictions on Suno or any of those platforms. I think I used a combination of Suno and Udio to create music. And this was when AI music was so new that it really was indetectable. I think people can kind of tell a little bit now, but then people did not know what an AI vocal sounded like. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you what the idea was. I'm going to create 3 distinct artists. And the idea being that rather than constantly promoting new songs from new artists, I would build the followership up of these artists. I would use kind of the playlist promotion skills and techniques that we've built over the years. I would use my playlist network or my contacts and stuff like that to build these artists' algorithm to a point where they are generating streams and generating revenue. So these are the 3 artists I created. First is called Cali Road. Now, I came up with this artist name because I was on the Caledonian Road when I came up with it. So this is Cali Road, singer-songwriter. The next one, artist called River Flit. Again, named after a river in the hometown that I grew up in called Flitwick. And the final artist, here we go, just here, Circadian Cycles. This is an ambient artist. So those are the 3 artists that I created. 3 artist personas who were going to be releasing music very regularly. I knew that this would need to be done at a frequency, at a pace, in order for it to be of any value at all. If you were to kind of stick to the once every 5 weeks release cycle that other artists, real artists have, then what's the benefit, really? The benefit of being able to do this was that I could churn out 2 or 3 songs per week for each of these artists. So I'm going to take you through how I did this. I released them just through DistroKid. I thought I'll go quite basic to start off with. And I'm going to show you now a bit of the release schedule that I did. So this was in February of 2024, I want to say. So you can see here, track titles, artist names, just a very basic release schedule, right? So yeah, you can see here, couple of tracks per week, fairly frequent. And then what I was doing was I was promoting all of these songs to my network of Spotify playlists using things like Submit Hub, various other tools, to kind of get these songs streaming. Now, I knew that not every one of these songs is going to perform well. I knew that some of these artists would perform slightly better than others. But the thought process here was, it was a little bit, if you throw enough SHIT at a wall, then some of it's going to stick, basically. The idea being that the majority of these songs won't get past the kind of 2,000 or 3,000 stream mark, if that. but we'd have a few that would do 100,000, 200,000, 500,000, like potentially. And if you can really start triggering Spotify's algorithm, that is entirely possible. So I did this for about 3 months, I would say, and each artist have released about 6 or 7 songs, I would say. And I'm going to now take you through revenue, some money, some numbers, right? So I'm going to go through you with each artist, okay? So these, I updated these today, actually. So these are actually up to date. So this is the first artist, River Flip. You can see streams, you can see spend here, you can see what I've spent it on. So total spend for River Flip in that 1 month was £149. Revenue, £59. And I'm going to show you that on DistroKid as well. So River Flip, obviously, there's a dollar to pound conversion going on here. But yeah, $81 is about £59. So that's a loss of £89.85 on that particular artist. Circadian Cycles, who is the next artist, again, similar story. Total spend of £171. Revenue, £112. Again, I'll show you this on DistroKid. Yeah, $150. So that's about £110. And it's the same story with Callie Rhodes. This was the singer-songwriter. Total revenue, £43. Total spend, £143. So again, Callie Rhodes, yep, $59 total revenue. So the overall picture here is not particularly great. Total spend, £463.25. Total revenue, £314. So that is a 32% loss. And that's before you even take into account the time involved. Obviously, the time involved in creating music is not that significant. But you do have to come up with prompts. You do have to type it into Suno. You do have to, edit things and adjust things. So it's not like it takes no time. It certainly takes more time than you'd want it to take if you're losing money. Then there's the, going through distribution. And I haven't even put into account here the cost of, DistroKid and things like that. So, and then there's, even if you do it for free, if you wanted to make social media content to promote these artists and do all that side of things, that takes time as well. So there's a financial loss, but there's also a time loss involved in all of this, which is why eventually I decided to knock it on the head, because it wasn't so much the money that was being lost, because it's not that much, it's not a lot of money that I lost, but it was a lot of time for something that I didn't see any financial rewards for, and I certainly didn't feel any creative rewards for, because how could you? It was pretty monotonous and pretty meaningless. So why didn't it work? Why didn't this work? Because I think a lot of people think that AI music is a bit of a gold mine. There seems to be this idea that AI artists can, upload as much music as they want onto platforms and then, drive revenue, and it'll do well and you can make money from this. The truth of the matter is that in order to advertise music, in order to get music, and assuming you do things the right way, I'm not talking about like if you buy bots and all that sort of things, but if you want to do things the right way and you want to advertise an artist and promote an artist, it's going to cost you money, whether it's in ads or whether it's in playlist submissions or, whatever else it is you're going to do. And more often than not, you're not going to see that money back. And I think it's really worth getting down to the crux of why this failed. As I say, everything that I had to do in order to promote these artists had to cost money. Why? Because all of the things that are free that an artist does in order to promote themselves, social media, having an online personality, playing shows. All right, playing shows aren't free. It can cost you money sometimes, but you can, you can do it for cheap, and you can, tour for not much money and that sort of thing. I know it's not free. Don't anyone shout at me. All of the things that an artist can do to promote themselves as a character and as a person that people connect with free of charge on social media, I didn't have any of that because these artists aren't real. It's not like I could ask one of those artists to do like a get ready with me video on social media, or it's not like I could ask one of those artists to do a shout out to their fans, or do a competition with their fans, or set up a WhatsApp group, or do all of the things that real artists have as such and that's, this is why it really bothers me when artists don't want to engage with social media particularly, and they don't want to, put themselves on camera, engage with their fans and talk to their fans and engage with an audience, because that's the big advantage that you will always have over AI. All of the kind of advertising and playlists and all of that sort of stuff, an AI could achieve that just as well as you can. But the one thing that independent artists and all artists can do that an AI can't do is to have genuine character and genuine engagement with a fan base, whether that's in person or online. So that's why it really does my head in when artists have no interest in doing that, have no interest in engaging with their fans on a personal level, but then will complain that AI is kind of, taking their spot or taking their, taking money out of their hands, right? Social media is that is the advantage you have over AI, and you're not doing it. But yeah, I mean, rant over on that one. But I'm sure that there are people out there and there are AI musicians out there who would be able to make this work, would be able to turn an AI record label into a profitable thing. But it's not easy, and you have to be passionate about it. I think if you were somebody who was really, for whatever reason, really, really into making AI music, you loved it, you really had a passion for it, and thought you could do something really cool, then I'm sure you could eventually get it to a point where it's turning a profit and might be able to become viable for you financially. But it's such a hard slog without the marketability of real artists that I don't know. Like, I feel like I could have carried on doing that for years, and I don't know if it ever would have really made money. But that's because I'm not passionate about it, I suppose. Some people would be. So yeah, look, I don't know how useful that is. I just wanted to kind of shine a light on kind of how these kind of things can work or can't work in this case. But let us know your thoughts. Like, if you've ever tried to kind of set up an AI artist or an AI label or an AI persona, and you're struggling to make money, or you kind of are interested in doing it as a revenue building thing, let us know. Like, how, if you have got to a point where you're making money off AI music, then how have you done it?